The U.S. said it would slap 10% tariffs on Airbus planes and 25% duties on French wine, Scotch, and Irish whiskies, as well as cheese from across the continent, as retaliation for illegal EU aircraft subsidies. The announcement came after the World Trade Organization gave Washington a green light to impose tariffs on $7.5 billion worth of EU goods annually in a long-running conflict between European plane maker Airbus and its U.S. rival Boeing. The WTO found that both received billions of dollars of illegal subsidies in a pair of cases that have run for 15 years.
In the parallel Boeing case, the EU will in some months equally be granted rights to impose countermeasures against the United States as a result of its continued failure to comply with WTO rules. A preliminary list of US products to be considered for countermeasures was published last April.
The tariffs will first hit US consumers and companies, according to European Commission spokesman Daniel Rosario.
Following yesterday's events, what we have to say is that the European Union regrets that the United States appears to have taken the decision to impose additional tariffs on EU exports. This is a move that will first and foremost hit US consumers and companies and will make efforts towards a negotiated settlement more complicated.
However, France and the EU are ready to respond with sanctions if the United States were to reject the hand extended by Europe in the Airbus trade dispute, said France Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire.
In a few months, the World Trade Organization will give us the possibility within the same framework of the Airbus dispute to, in turn, impose sanctions on the United States. Do we really want to reach that point? We are ready to do so if there is no agreement reached between the United States and Europe. But I think the voice of reason is to find an agreement between the United States and Europe by us Europeans remaining united and by avoiding entering a trade war where there will only be losers.
U.S. tariffs on European Union products would also affect around 1 billion euros of Spanish agricultural products per year, pricing Spain out of the market. The United States is the biggest market outside the European Union for Spanish agricultural exports such as wine, oil, cheese, and olives.
The sectors most hit by these measures are the olive sector, both in terms of olive oil and olives. That is where they are fundamentally hit. And also wine and cheese may be affected, but less so because we're getting information that the sanctions in the wine sector are going to be directed fundamentally at French wine and in cheese sector at Italy cheese.
The move threatens to ignite a bigger tit-for-tat transatlantic trade war, as EU Commissioner in charge of trade said the EU was considering all possible responses to the tariffs, including retaliation. The dispute darkens the global economic outlook, which already has the cloud of the US-China trade dispute hanging over it. Washington and Beijing have already imposed tariffs on each other's goods worth hundreds of billions of dollars.